Well, we're going to start off with IELTS. We are going to start off with IELTS reading module, and we have this reading test. We will solve it together. We will discuss all 40 questions one by one. We have a variety of questions here: true, false, not given, sentence completion, multiple choice questions, matching type of questions, and we'll go through all of them one by one. So you have to see how to read the question, then from the question how to find a clue word, and how to reach the part of the passage which is related to that question, and then how to reach that sentence which has got the answer, and then find the answer and all that. So what you need to do, you have to do it all with me. Don't try to go ahead of me, like I'm solving question number 1 and you are solving question number 2 to impress me. Okay, don't try to do that. If I'm solving question 1, you should solve question 1 with me, and then we will go on to question number 2 together. Okay, one thing. Second, in IELTS reading, basically you have to use your imagination. Imagination is very important. Why? At times you cannot pay attention. I mean, these things, you will not be able to understand what's going on. So for that, if you use your imagination, if you imagine, whatever, for example, if I read local campsite, now I imagine some camps. I've been to Kumrat, and in Kumrat people live in camps also. So if I imagine that, I can, relate it with that, I can understand it better and I can pay more attention. Okay, so this is what you need to do, right? Anyways, let's get started. The first title is local campsites. From this we understand there are different campsites. Campsite is a location where you are allowed to set up your camp. Imagine you have a camp and you want to set it up somewhere. So they have sites A, B, C, D, E. These are campsites. After this, we come to questions. Questions 1 to 7. Look at the 5 descriptions of campsite A to E on page 39. For which campsite are the following statements true? Now we have to match questions with the paragraphs. Okay, for this type of question, it's a good idea to skim read. Now remember, there are 3 types of reading. One is scanning. Scanning is not reading. Scanning is only searching. For example, if we have this passage, local campsite, and I ask you to look for the word bad weather. Come on, scan it. Bad weather, scan it. Scan bad weather, bad weather, bad weather. Exactly. Paragraph D, second last line, the word bad weather is there. Found it? This is called scanning. When you scan, you do not read. You are only searching, and searching. One is scanning. Second is skimming. You read a paragraph quickly, you read one line carefully, then the next line you may skip or you may read quickly, okay, so that you understand what is the basic meaning of that. That is called skimming. Okay, for example, in the morning, if there is a newspaper and you have only 2 to 3 minutes, in 2 to 3 minutes you can skim through the newspaper. You cannot read it all, but you will just read the headlines and the main things. That is called skimming. Third one is reading. That is careful reading, where you will read every word. And reading comprehension is most important. Anybody can read English, but most of the time what you read you do not understand. So if you do not understand what you read, it is useless. In IELTS reading, it's not that you have to read something loudly. IELTS reading is reading comprehension. Comprehension means if I read a sentence, I understand that sentence. I know the meaning of every word and all that. So sometimes students read the whole paragraph. When they reach the end, then they say, Kenda kiye? They don't know. Then they have to struggle, reread and all that. So you need to improve your vocabulary for that as well. You can have any mobile dictionary. And if you come across a new word, make it a habit to underline that word, search the meaning of the word. 3 things you need to see. Number 1, meaning of the word in English. Number 2, part of speech. Noun, verb, adjectives and all that. And number 3, you need to see how to pronounce that word so that you could use it in your IELTS speaking as well. Okay. Now we come to paragraph A. Well-known campsite. And one more, develop a habit not to read article. The, and it'll save your life. In every sentence, there will be at least 2 to 3 articles. If you don't read them, you know how to ignore. Like, in our life, we sometimes ignore some people. They are in front of us, but we ignore them. Okay? So like this, you have to ignore the articles. Anyways, well-known campsite. Well-known means popular. People know about it. Underline well-known. And subject is campsite. So you don't need to underline campsite. We know it's the subject. In the wild, underline wild, near Brown Burn is a winner with campers. Underline winners. Winner with campers who are looking for time out for their fast-paced jobs in the capital. Despite its limited facilities, the site with its large tent pitches, underline large tent pitches, underline limited facilities. They offer limited facilities, is an ideal base for exploring the area and driving to the Rock Museum. So underline exploring the area and driving to Rock Museum. The craft workshops or Gaydon Castle. So underline workshops, castle, and then they say just follow the signs. Now, as you read, if you imagine there is a campsite, you can drive to the museum from there. It is ideal, it is this and that, so things will stick in your brain. Now we are going to read all the questions from 1 to 7 and very carefully, because we have to use all the questions. That is why we will read them all. Question number 1. Site is impossible to get to at certain times. Listen and remember, for certain times they may use the word when it rains. For certain times they may use the word in winter. For certain times they use the word in snow. So site is impossible to get to means when it snows you cannot reach there. Question number 2. It is in a convenient place for going by car to various tourist spots. Does it ring a bell? Yes, they say it is a convenient place for going by car. Come back to the passage. And they have mentioned ideal base for exploring the area and driving to the Rock Museum. Now this is one location. Craft workshops, this is second location. Gaydon Castle, this is third location. And driving means you can go there by car. So question number 2, convenient place for going by car to various tourist spots. Now what are various tourist spots? Rock Museum, craft workshops, and Gaydon Castle. These are various tourist spots. So question number 2, correct answer is A. Okay, and you will cross number 2 so that you don't read it again. Once a question is answered, you don't need to read that again. Question number 3, you should camp somewhere inside the marked zone. So underline camp inside marked zone. Marked zone means they have the marking over there. Only inside that area you can have your camps. Question number 4, campers who enjoy a particular physical challenge. Underline particular physical challenge. Now listen, for particular physical challenge they may use the word climbing. For particular physical challenge they may use any other activity, okay, which is physically demanding. So for that they have used this word. Question number 5, difficult journey to the site is worth the effort. Underline difficult journey, worth the effort. Now journey is difficult, but once you reach there, the scene is spectacular, you become so happy. So journey is difficult, but worth the effort. Worth the effort means it is actually worthwhile to do all this effort. Question number 6, people have heard of this site. Now people have heard of this site. What does it mean? People have heard means this site is popular. Well, in option A they say this well-known campsite in the wild near this. But over here they say, yeah, few people have heard of this site. Now when few people have heard, it means it is not well-known. Well-known means a lot of people have heard. But they say few people have heard, so it is not well-known. But keep in mind, this option will go somewhere, right? If they say people hardly know about that, or people have no awareness about this site, so this will go there. Next, question number 7. Some physical effort is needed to enjoy nearby coastal areas. Now, they will say there are some coastal areas and physical effort. Physical effort means you will have to walk, or you will have to climb, right? Anything like, or you will have to do hiking. So physical effort means you have to walk, climb, hiking, or anything like that. Now, the questions are in our mind, right? And you know, when you read the question, for example, when you read physical effort is needed to enjoy nearby coastal area, imagine sea, imagine beautiful coastal area, and imagine you have to climb, or you need to do a lot of walk to reach there, anything like that. Now, we have all the questions in mind, and we go through paragraph B. This campsite looks like it's going to be a winner. It only opened last year, but already the website has some very positive reviews from the handful of campers. Website has got a positive review from the handful of campers who know about it so far. What does it mean? Few people know about it. Handful campers who know about it so far. Question number 6. Few people have heard of this site. Question number 6. Correct answer is B. And you will cross number 6 from the list also, so that you don't read this option. Is this clear? And remember, one paragraph may have one option, two options, three options even, or no option. Keep that door open as well. There may be no option with one paragraph, and maximum 3 options. Now let's read on. A handful of campers who know about it so far. It offers splendid views over some of the country's most attractive beaches, which can be accessed by steep, narrow cliff steps. You need a good level of fitness for these. Like, you can go to beaches. Beaches are coastal areas. But there are some cliffs which you need to climb, and you need a good level of fitness for these. Which question number is that? Question number 7. Some physical effort is needed to enjoy nearby coastal areas. What is the synonym for coastal area? Beaches. Absolutely. So question number 7, correct answer is B. And we will cross number 7 from the list as well. Okay, we have read 2 paragraphs and we have answered 3 questions. So now we may go on. Paragraph C. You won't be disappointed. Won't means will not. You will not be disappointed when you reach Ockerley despite the problems of getting there by car on such narrow roads. So he says, problem of going there by car, but when you reach there, you will not be disappointed. What does it mean? It means difficult journey to the site is worth the effort. For worth the effort, he said, you will not be disappointed. So you will not be disappointed when you reach, despite the problems of getting there by car on such narrow roads. So that is question number 5, difficult journey. What is for difficult journey? Narrow roads, exactly. To the site is worth the effort, and for worth the effort, you will not be disappointed. Okay? So question number 5, correct answer is C. And we will cross number 5 also, only number 5. Okay? So that we don't read it. Now see, we are not going to read questions 2, 5, 6, 7. Let's go on. You will see quite a lot. I'm reading paragraph C, second line after full stop. You will see quite a lot of motorhomes when you hit the cliff top, but there will be there is still plenty of room for tents on the spacious lawn that also offers a camp kitchen, restaurant and bar. Make sure you stay safe and pitch your tent within the white line around the cliff edge. Within the line means within that boundary. So within the white line, what does it mean? Absolutely, you should camp somewhere inside the marked zone. And for marked zone, they use the word white line, within the white line. Okay? So question number 3, correct answer is option C, and we crossed number 3 also. What are we left with? 1 and 4. So life is easy. We can easily manage them. Okay, please now come to paragraph D for doctor. South Turnbull. Emphasis at this site is on back to basics camping. It is advisable to come in a group. We do one thing. There are only 2 questions. So why should we not refresh the question? Question number 1 is what? Impossible to get to at certain times. And question number 4, campers who enjoy a particularly physical challenge come here, right? So we read on. Paragraph D, second line. In a group, as there are few facilities and you need to do all your own cooking, area is rather exposed, and in periods of bad weather it cannot be reached. Certain times and periods of bad weather it cannot be reached. Question number 1, site is impossible to get. To get means to reach, and cannot means impossible. At certain times means bad weather. Question number 1, correct answer is D, and we cross number 1 also. Now 1 paragraph and 1 question. You don't need to read it, just write the answer and all that. Anyways, let's go on. Paragraph E, 20-meter high rock faces that surround this site are especially attractive to rock climbers. That is attractive to rock climbers. What is question number 4? Campers who enjoy a particular physical challenge come here. What is that particular physical challenge? Rock climbing. So rock climbers come there. Campers who enjoy a particular physical challenge come here. So question number 4, and it's mentioned here, rock climbers who come here to camp from hundreds of miles away so that they can attempt to climb. So question number 4, correct answer is E, and you will cross number 4 also, and this is how you realize that you have answered all the questions. So for time management, crossing the number is very important so that you don't read one question second time. Now we go on and we come to this second passage. They say Durridge Heights newsletter. A newsletter is something that contains the news about a company or organization and all that. Newsletter for people living in the 7-story block of flats at Durridge Heights. Now we understand Durridge Heights is a block of flats. People live there, and there is that newsletter for the community, for the people who live inside those flats. And we've got dear residents, water penetration. Any question related to water, you will come to this paragraph. Fire safety, any question related to fire, you will come here. Internal redecorations, like inside the flat, if you have to do some redecoration, you will come here. Air fresheners, very simple. And last one is noise and DIY. DIY is do it yourself. Sometimes, you are doing things on your own. You say, I will fix this light, it's not working, or I'm going to install something on the wall and all that. That is called DIY, do it yourself jobs, like many of the things you do at home, we call them. So noise and DIY. So this is the last thing here. Now we come to questions, and questions are true, false, not given. Very important question type, and you will get around 10 plus questions in academic as well as in gender training IELTS of true, false, not given. And if we add the cousin of true, false, not given, that is yes, no, not given, then total questions will be around 15. Like 10 to 15 questions are going to be true, false, not given, and yes, no, not given. Okay, so you need to pay more attention. These questions and one word only, they are very important, right? The bench score you're looking at. Now, the good thing is for true, false, not given and for yes, no, not given, questions and the passage, they are in order. Once you find one answer, you have to read on maybe the same paragraph or maybe the next paragraph, but they are in order. Systematically, answers will go on, right? Now, we've got question number 8. water penetration in some flats is being treated as an emergency. Now look here, very simple. If they are dealing with this problem as emergency, answer is true. If they are dealing with this problem as per routine, emergency means within an hour they are going to solve the problem, right? If they are dealing with it as per their routine, not an emergency, answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether it is emergency or as per routine, then answer is not given. Now water penetration, you know that is first paragraph. So I'm reading it from first line. As a result of the recent heavy rains, water has seeped through the walls of some flats and reached a critical level. A decision has been taken to deal with this immediately. Now what is immediately? That is emergency, exactly. So question number 8, answer is true. Okay, that's right, answer is true. And remember, for true you will write true, full word. Don't write capital T, just write full word as true. Question number 9, southern wall will undergo a permanent repair this year. Now underline permanent. If southern wall will go through permanent repair, answer is true. If they will do temporary repair now and permanent repair later on somewhere, then answer is false. And if they don't tell us that the repair is going to be permanent or temporary, then answer is not given. Okay, now please come back, same paragraph. Can you see southern wall? Okay, I'm reading first paragraph, third line. Scaffolding will be put up on the middle section of the southern wall and the brickwork there will be sealed temporarily with a waterproof covering to prevent any further water getting in. So it will be sealed temporarily. And what's the question? Southern wall will undergo a permanent repair. No, that repair is not permanent, that is temporary. So correct answer is false. See, if you hit the right word in true, false, not given, you know I have to see temporary or permanent. In question number 8, you have to see emergency or normal. So once you read the question carefully, you can easily see all these things. Question number 10, some people have failed to pay attention to wet paint sign. Now they have a wet paint sign and some people have failed to pay attention. Answer is true. If people have paid attention to that, they have succeeded to pay attention, answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether people have failed or succeeded to pay attention, it is not given. So correct, the clue word is wet paint sign. Look for wet paint sign, wet paint. Exactly, internal decorations. And have you noticed one thing? There is no question about fire safety. One full paragraph is empty. There is no question. That is why, remember, in IELTS reading, you don't have to read everything. I mean, if we talk about 3 passages, you just have to read 20 to 25% to find all the answers. But that 25% part of the passage is scattered and hidden in the full passage. So you have to identify that and then read that carefully. Anyways, let's read it from here. Corridor walls on the inside of the building are redecorated every 3 years on a rolling basis and are being done this year. Please look out for signs indicating where the paint is wet. If you have children, make sure they keep away from the walls. DH cannot be held responsible. Any mention that people have failed to see the wet paint sign or not? There is no information on that. So answer is not given. Well done. Question number 11. Air fresheners have caused some damage in the past. Now, if air fresheners have caused damage in the past, true. If they haven't caused any damage, false. Otherwise, not given. Air fresheners. Can you see that? Alright. Now, I'm reading air fresheners. We have received a small number of complaints about smells in the corridor. DH installed air fresheners some years ago. However, they were costly and the liquid in their spray stained the carpets. Liquid stained the carpet. कि liquid ने carpet पे दाग लगा दिए थे. Now what is that? That is damage. Exactly. So what's the question? Air freshener have caused some damage in the past. And what was that damage? It stained the carpets. So correct answer is true. That's right. Question number 12. Residents are responsible for removing their own rubbish from the building. Rubbish means garbage. So if residents are responsible for removing their garbage, answer is true. If that DH, if DH is responsible, not residents, then answer is false, otherwise not given. Same air fresheners, and I'm reading it from third last line. At present, we would prefer to ask residents to make sure smells cannot escape their front door and to seal rubbish bags when they put them in the corridor for collection. Now, are residents going to do that? No, they are just going to seal rubbish bags when they put them in the corridor for collection and disposal by the caretaker. So, who will collect it? Caretaker will collect it. What's the question? Residents are responsible for removing their own rubbish from the building. Answer is false, because caretaker is responsible. Residents have to put it outside in sealed bags and all that. Okay, so correct answer for question number 12 is false. Question number 13. Some residents have reported problems with noisy neighbors. Now, some residents, problems and noisy neighbors. Okay, now last paragraph is noisy neighbor. While most leaseholders observe the regulations on noise, we have received complaints from others about out of hours drilling. Drilling is when you use a drill machine, and all that, you know. So when you live in flats, you have these type of problems. We have received complaints from others about out of the hour drilling. What's the question? Some residents have reported problems with noisy neighbors. What is the answer? Out of the hour drilling, right? So correct answer is true. And by the way, when they say here, okay, same thing. While most leaseholders observe the regulations, most observe the regulation means some have the problem on noise. We have received complaints from others about out of the hour drilling. So others means a small part. When they say most leaseholders observe the regulations, it means there is the small part. That's what the question is. Some residents have reported, some residents, because most of the leaseholders are residents. They observe the regulations, but some have actually done that. Question number 14, DIY can take place outside the stated hours if your neighbor agrees. Now, for example, if you want to do some hammering, you want to put a painting on the wall and you want to do some hammering, they have given the time that during this time to this time you can do DIY, do it yourself job. Now they say DIY can take place outside the standard hour. For example, standard hour is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you tell your neighbor that I'm going to do some drilling and time is outside the standard time, so is it allowed or not? DIY can take place outside the stated hours if your neighbor agrees. With the agreement of your neighbor, if you can do it outside that time frame, answer is true. Even if your neighbor agrees you cannot do it, then answer is false and otherwise not given. So it's the last paragraph here and the third last line. If you are planning, last paragraph, third last line after full stop. If you are planning to undertake such work during these hours, it is still polite to inform your neighbors of this so that they can make any necessary arrangements. I read one line ahead. Okay, last paragraph, second line after full stop. Please note that any work involving hammers or electrical tools can only take place between 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. on weekdays and between 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. on a Saturday. There can be no exceptions to this rule. What does it mean? No exceptions to this rule, even if your neighbor agrees. Neighbor says, thodi chala lo. Drill machine se kar lo jo karna hai, right? Even if he agrees, there can be no exception to this rule. So what's the question? DIY can take place outside the stated hours if your neighbor agrees. They said there is no exception to the rule. The time which they have mentioned, only during that time you can do it. So the answer is false. That's right. Alright, now we go on to section 2, and we have a day in the life of a care worker. A care worker is someone who takes care of an elderly person or a sick person. We call him a care worker. And many people went to UK in a couple of years on this visa, care worker, caregiver, care worker, and all that. So we have a passage, and questions are on the next page. Questions 15 to 20, complete the flow chart below. Now we have a flow chart, and you have to complete this flow chart. And remember, whenever there is any completion type of question, sentence completion, notes completion, summary completion, flow chart completion, diagram completion, when they use the word completion, questions and answers are always in order. Once you find one answer, go on, you'll find another answer, and sometimes you find 3 to 4 answers in 2 to 3 lines. This is also happening, okay? Now, we read the question, one word only, and this word will come from the passage. A day in the life of a care worker. It is an early start for the first client. Now, imagine there is a care worker, early start, and he goes to first client. And I tell you, care worker is someone, for example, if there is a sick person, you have to take him to the doctor. That is what the care workers do. Especially the elderly people who are abandoned by their families. There are some old people, their children have left them. So they get the money from government and they pay the money to those care workers. And care workers take them to the doctor if they have any appointment. Sometimes care workers take care of their house, right? And all that. It's an early start for the first client. You may have to help the client get up and dressed. Now see, this is the job of a care worker. You will awake your client. You will help him get dressed. If they have a dash, now you will, actually you're going to help the client get up and dressed if they have something that makes this challenging. Makes this challenging means there is an elderly person who cannot wear clothes properly, so you will help with them. Now, what is that thing? If they have a. Now, let's see what is it that if they have a. So, early morning, second paragraph, they use the word early. Found it? Passage, second paragraph. Care workers often start early as the first client of the day may need help getting out of bed. That is one thing. And putting on their clothes, all right? They may suffer from a condition. They may suffer from a condition that prevents them from doing this. This means getting out of bed and getting dressed, right? So they may suffer from a condition. Now come back. If they have a. Now if they have a and they may suffer from a, an answer is condition. That's right. You know, at times you say no to him, ki halat aisi hai ki wo khud se uth nahi sakte. Something like that. So that is condition. Yes. Question number 16. The next task. Now one task is over. In the flow chart we have arrows. And remember, sometimes flow charts are like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 and all that. Sometimes they are in a circle. Okay, so don't be afraid if you see a flow chart in a circle or a square. There are arrows. Arrows are going this side and all that. Question number 16. The next task may be cooking breakfast, and it's nice to have some at this time. Now one thing is you cook breakfast for your client, and it is nice to have some at this time. At this time means while having breakfast. So what is it that you need to do with your client while having breakfast? Same paragraph. Second paragraph. Please come to fourth line after full stop. The care worker may. Found it? Yes. Second paragraph, fourth line after full stop. The care worker may then help to cook breakfast for the client, and this is often a good time to enjoy a conversation. This is good time means breakfast is good time to enjoy a conversation. So it is nice to have some conversation. For nice they use the word enjoy. It is nice to have some conversation at this time. All clear? You can just encircle conversation, write question number 16. When you go back home, you must repeat this test entirely. Question number 17. It may be a good idea to do some housework after this. See, this is the job of care worker, and many of young people in Pakistan, they wanted to become care worker. They didn't know what care worker is. Right? Anyways, it may be a good idea to do some housework after this, such as dash and washing up. Now, one is washing, second, we are going to check. And after this, conversation, we need to go on. Second paragraph, and we are going to read it from 1, 2, 3, fourth last line. After full stop, housework is. Found it? Second paragraph, fourth last line after full stop. Housework is often something that elderly people or people with disabilities may not be able to do themselves. Even something as simple as hovering the living room can make a huge difference to a client's day. Of course, there may be the breakfast dishes to do as well. For breakfast dishes, they use the word wash. Now, what is the second thing? That is hovering. Hovering is using the vacuum cleaner, right? Hovering is for vacuum cleaner. So, correct answer is hovering. I mean, for dishes, breakfast dishes, they use the word wash. Of course, you will wash them, right? You'll not say gilli taki marlo. No, you'll wash them properly, okay? So, the second thing is hovering. Hovering and washing up. Dishes. Yes. No, just dishes, right? But that is also the part of the job. Yeah, exactly. All right, question number 18. You may then visit a second client. Jaanni abhi chutni, okay? This is with one client, right? You may then visit a second client and help them get a dash lunch ready. Now, answer will come with lunch. Get them, help them get a dash lunch ready. So, please come to third paragraph. Later in the morning, the care worker may move to another client. Now, answer is here, another client, okay? In order to help them prepare their midday meal. What is midday meal? Lunch. See, so clever. Lunch kehte hue takleef hoti hai. Midday meal. Care workers try to ensure this is healthy. What do they mean by this? Lunch. Lunch is healthy. Means healthy lunch. So what is the answer? Excellent. Very good. Just read this line and see how clever they are. For lunch, they use the word midday meal, and then care workers try to ensure this is healthy. This means midday meal. Midday meal means lunch is healthy. And in the question, they say to get a healthy lunch ready. Lunch is healthy, healthy lunch. Question number 19, lunch may be followed by some. Now, whatever they are going to do right after lunch, that will be your answer. So, please come back. Healthy, because it is so important to keep clients fit and well. Third paragraph, second last line. When that is finished, what do they mean by that? Lunch, well done. When that is finished, the care worker may help the client to carry out their shopping. So after lunch, what will they do? Shopping. Well done. So lunch may be followed by some shopping. Next, question number 20. Afterwards, a third client, oh God, right? So who wants to become a care worker here? Huh? Many people went to UK just for this job. and now they are doing it happily. Good, yeah. English people are very cooperative, okay? Afterwards, a third client may need to help with an activity that involves going out of their home. Now, it can be any activity, walk or anything like that, such as doing their, okay, now listen, activity which involves going out. Now, what is that activity which involves going out? That activity will be the answer, such as doing their what? So, second last paragraph. During the afternoon, a care worker may help a third client with an outdoor activity which could involve going for a short walk in the local area. One thing. Okay, let's come back to the question. Can we say such as doing their walk? No. Let's read on. Short walk in the local area or taking the laundry to the laundrette. Taking the laundry to the laundrette. So such as doing their laundry. Laundrette is the place where there are washing machines. You insert the coin and you wash your clothes. So such as doing their laundry. Taking the laundry to the laundrette means doing their laundry. Doing their laundry, same thing like some people say, "Assi itwar nu machine lagane." Something like that, okay? So that is doing their laundry. Question number 20, correct answer is? Good. All right, let's go on. How to find a good balance between your work and personal life. Now we have another short passage. How to find a good balance between your work and personal life. A good work-life balance is beneficial to everyone, but how can it be achieved? And there are tips for healthy work-life balance. Now we come to questions 21 to 27. Complete the sentences below. Choose one word only. So we have sentence completion here. Question number 21. People who cut down the hours they work gain most from feeling better physically and experiencing an increased sense of. Just underline the word increased sense of. Increased sense of something. Now we go back. First paragraph. The first step is to take a serious look at the amount of time you are devoting to work and set about reducing it. The main benefit most people notice once they stop working too much is an improvement. Now, improvement means increased in their general health and well-being. Improvement in their general health and well-being. So people who cut down the hours they work gain most from feeling better physically. Now feeling better physically, what is the synonym of that? That is their general health, okay? And experiencing an increased sense of well-being. Exactly. Correct answer is well-being. And by the way, it's one word only, so you cannot write general health. These are two words. Okay, question number 22. It is important that those who work at desks avoid dash by checking their chair, work surface and screen are in the best position. So it is important that those who work at desks avoid. Now answer will come after the synonym of avoid. Next paragraph. Look for the word desk, chair, screen and all that. So it's the second paragraph. A recent study showed office workers spend approximately 1,700 hours a year in front of a computer. Ensure that your workstation means your table, chair, desk and all that, is set up so you are as comfortable as possible, and this will help to minimize the chance of injuries. Minimize the chance of means avoid. Minimize the chance of, that is the synonym of avoid, and answer is injuries. And as they have written plural word, so just copy paste it. Injuries. Question number 23. Having targets to work towards is useful, but they should be. What do they mean by they? Targets, exactly. Now just see, targets should be, and for targets they may use the word goals or anything like that. So please come back. Tips for a healthy work-life balance, third paragraph. Can you see setting goals? Now goals is another word for targets. Setting goals for both your professional and personal life is great. Remember though to make these realistic. Now what do they mean by these? Goals, absolutely. So goals should be realistic. Make these realistic. Now the word these will give you the answer, and correct answer is realistic. They should be realistic. Make these realistic. Question number 24. When there are many different tasks to do, the ability to dash them is vital. Vital means important, key. So when there are many different tasks to do, the ability to dash them is vital. So, fourth last paragraph of the passage. Found it? Sometimes it is easier. Everyone there? Sometimes it is easier said than done. But if you are juggling numerous pieces of work, what does it mean? You are juggling numerous pieces of work. Yes, you are many different tasks to do. Okay? If you are juggling numerous pieces of work on a daily basis, learning to prioritize is key. Key means vital. Now what is vital? Learning to prioritize is key. So what is the answer? Prioritize. When there are many different tasks to do, the ability to prioritize them is vital. Question number 25. People who give up all treats in their personal time may find their dash decreases. Now people who give up treats, like personal treats, like sometimes you give yourself a treat, you enjoy your life and all that. So people who give up all treats in their personal time may find their dash decreases. So let's come back. Third last paragraph. Ensure you have time to do the things that make you happy. We call it treats. These are the treats that you do that make you happy. If you've got nothing nice to look forward to and can only see a long line of work days ahead of you, this can easily become overwhelming and ultimately hinder your productivity. So what's the answer? Well done. For hinder, they have used the word decreases. Hinder and decreases, they are synonyms, and correct answer is productivity. And be careful with the spelling. In reading, you just have to copy paste them. Okay? Question number 26. It is wise to use the full amount of dash allowance every year. Full amount of dash allowance. Now let's see what allowance and full amount of. Full amount means total, complete. So second last paragraph. It's there for a reason and there are no prizes for giving it up. So what do they mean by it? Let's see, we read on. So make sure you take your annual holiday entitlement. Make sure you take your annual, for example, in offices, they give them 30 annual holidays, 20 annual holidays. So they say it's there for a reason and there is no prizes for giving it up. Like if you don't take your annual holidays, there is no prize for that. So make sure you take your annual holiday entitlement. You don't have to be going on an exotic foreign trip. Maybe you just fancy a rest day watching films, or you want to take some time off to spend with a friend you don't see enough. So what's the answer? Holidays. They said if it's there for a reason and there is no prizes for giving it up. So make sure you take your annual holiday entitlement. Make sure you take your annual holiday entitlement means it is wise to use the full amount of holiday allowance every year. So answer is holiday. And for allowance they use the word entitlement. Question number 27. Making time to do things with close companions, relatives or dash. Now one category is close companions, friends. Second is relatives. For relatives they use the word family. And third one is a great way to relax. Last paragraph. Family. What is family? Relatives. Friends. What is friends? Close companions. And favorite pets. Woof woof. Okay. So what will be the answer? Pets. Making time to do things with close companions, relatives or pets is a great way to relax. इसे मैं अपनी बिल्ली के साथ चिड़ियाघर जा रहा हूँ, right? Once a person caught a monkey and he took the monkey to the police and the police said, take the monkey to the zoo. And the next day the police saw the person was holding the same monkey and they asked him, why didn't you take him to the zoo? He said, yes, yesterday we went to the zoo, we enjoyed a lot, today we are going to the park. I hope you understand, huh? That's why I never tell jokes in English. At the end, nobody laughs. All right. Okay, so correct answer is pets for that. Now we go on. All right, now we've got this third passage. The title is Cities Henry. And Henry is in inverted commas. Cities Henry program gives children choices while helping parents stay in the driving seat. So we just understand a little that Henry is a program. It gives children choices while helping parents stay in the driving seat. So parents will stay in the driving seat and this program will give children some choices and all that. Now we come to questions 28 to 31. They are multiple choice questions. In listening, whenever we have multiple choice questions, there will be 3 options. In reading, whenever we have multiple choice questions, there will be 4 options. Okay. So, and by the way, multiple choice questions are also type A. Questions and answers are in order. Once you find one answer, just read on, you will find more answers as well. Next, questions 32 to 35. They are called matching. They have given us list of people and there are the statements. So we have to match these people with their statements. Over here, questions and the passage, they are not in order, but the list of people, that is in order. Okay, so you need to do it list wise. Then questions 36 to 39, one word only. Questions and answers are in order. And then question number 40, global multiple choice. Now, one is simple multiple choice. One is global multiple choice. What is global multiple choice? It's always like question number 40, global multiple choice. There is one question and that question is usually the title of the passage. What is it? Which title is the most suitable for the text? Now, for this question, you don't have to read any line, any sentence. When you complete all 39 questions, then you come to this and then the right answer will actually click you that yes, the passage was about it. So question number 40 is your overall understanding of the passage and then accordingly you can answer. For question number 40, you cannot read any paragraph or anything. You've already read it while solving other questions and then you can come here. Now tell me, where should we start from? Absolutely, that's the very good choice. Okay, and never follow the arrangement of questions they give you. You need to start with sentence completion. Then if they have true false not given, you can do that, and then the ones which are type B, you can do them at the end. Okay, I'm reading questions 36 to 39. Henry program. Henry was used in Leeds from 2009. Let's go back and look for Leeds and 2009. Leeds and 2009. Okay, we've got 2009 in third paragraph and then again we have 2009 in fourth paragraph. Okay, now we know there are 2 locations. If you find 2 locations, read the question carefully and see what is the context of the question. Now we come to questions 36. Henry was used in Leeds from 2009 in the fight against childhood obesity. All right, now we understand it was about childhood obesity, right? Program focuses on situations such as meal times and bedtimes. Okay, now we need to look for meal time, bedtime, and it encourages. What do they mean by it? Program. Henry is the name of the program. It encourages parents to set firm dash. Firm means strict or something like that. So it encourages parents to set firm dash during these periods. What do they mean by these periods? Meal time and bedtime. So let's come back. Now please look for meal time, bedtime. It's the last paragraph where we have 2009 and we'll just read from there. So everyone, last paragraph, I'm reading it from third line. The core of its obesity strategy in 2009, focusing particularly on the youngest children and poorest family. Henry, what is Henry? Health, exercise, nutrition for the really young. That is what they call Henry. Supports parents in setting boundaries for their children and taking a positive stance on issues from healthy eating to bedtime. So, supports parents in setting boundaries. Now, what is setting boundaries? Setting boundaries means set firm boundaries, and during these periods, for that they use the word positive stance on issues from healthy eating to bedtimes. So correct answer is boundaries. And remember, you're solving IELTS reading part 3. This is advanced level English. Okay, try to focus and understand that. Now we have the next summary. According to Kim Roberts, look for Kim Roberts. Very next page, first line, Kim Roberts is there. Okay, this is what we call location. Now we read the question. According to Kim Roberts, Henry aims to help people become more dash as parents. Now people become more dash as parents. Second page. Henry's chief executive, Kim Roberts, said the drop in obesity in Leeds was unprecedented. The indicators are that this isn't happening in other cities. The program encourages authoritative rather than authoritarian parenting. So what does program encourage? Authoritative parenting. So what's the question? According to Kim Roberts, Henry aims to help people become more authoritative as parents. Correct answer is authoritative. All right. In this way, they do not instruct children. I'm reading question number 38. In this way, they do not instruct children to do things nor give them total freedom of choice in a dash parenting style. Now listen, total freedom of choice is given in a dash parenting style. Now you will see in which parenting style total freedom of choice is given to the children. Now let's go back. Same paragraph, I'm reading fourth line. Second page, first paragraph, fourth line. Authoritarian parenting is when children are told what to eat and what to do, such as being banned from leaving the table until they have eaten their sprouts. Said Roberts, permissive parenting is asking children what they want to eat. That's right. Permissive parenting is asking children what they want to eat. So when you ask them what they want to eat, it means total freedom of choice. You are giving them total freedom of choice, and that is in permissive parenting style. So answer is permissive. See, now this one word is different than one word in part 1. Because this is advanced English, you're solving part 3. So correct answer is permissive. Question number 39. Instead, they allow children to make some decisions for themselves. This might be a choice of vegetable. Now vegetable is your clue word. at the dinner table, or a decision about where a dash should be enjoyed in the evening. Where a dash should be enjoyed in the evening. One word only. Same paragraph. Can you see vegetable? Alright, which line? Okay, I'm reading third last line. What vegetable they want with dinner? Children might be asked whether they would like carrots or broccoli. Instead of being told to go to bed, they are asked where they want to read the story beforehand. What's the answer? Where they want to read their story beforehand. Now, where they want to read their story means decision about where a story should be enjoyed in the evening. So, answer is story. Alright, that's it. After this, what should we do? Huh? Multiple choice is better. Let's do multiple choice and then we'll come to the next ones. Question number 28. In the first paragraph, what does the writer say about Amsterdam? Now, first paragraph, what does the writer say about Amsterdam? This is first paragraph and we've got Amsterdam there, third last line. As in Amsterdam, found it? Now just focus, as in Amsterdam. Now I'm reading it, first paragraph, third line after full stop. Only a few cities. Found it? Okay, now please follow. Only a few cities in the world, notably Amsterdam, have managed to cut child obesity. As in Amsterdam, the decline in Leeds is most marked among families living in the most deprived areas where the problem is worst and hardest to tackle. They say as in Amsterdam, the decline in Leeds is most marked. So there is something common in Amsterdam and Leeds, and that is among families living in the most deprived areas where the problem is worst and hardest to tackle. In deprived areas, like slums and other areas like that, okay? So the problem is worst and hardest to tackle. Now please come back. In the first paragraph, what does the writer say about Amsterdam? Option A, its Henry program was recommended to Leeds experts? Not at all. Option B, it was the first world city to reduce obesity levels in children? Never. Now we are left with two options. C, it has experienced more severe childhood obesity level than Leeds? There is no comparison. So three options are absolutely wrong. Fourth is, its pattern of success in cutting childhood obesity is like that of Leeds. As they mentioned, let's read from the beginning. First paragraph from the beginning. Leeds has become the first city in the UK to report a drop in childhood obesity after introducing a program called Henry to help parents set boundaries for their children and put off sweets and junk food. Only a few cities in the world, notably Amsterdam, have managed to cut child obesity. So that is that, and its pattern of success in cutting childhood obesity is like that of Leeds. D will be the right answer here. Question number 29. How did Susan Jebb, now Susan Jebb is our clue word, how did Susan Jebb respond to the fall in childhood obesity among poorer children in Leeds? Okay, so what was the response of Susan Jebb? Now we go back and we look for Susan Jebb. Exactly, second paragraph. So we are going to see how was her response or her reaction. Improvement, I'm reading second paragraph. The improvement in the most deprived children in Leeds is startling. Now what is her response? She says improvement is startling, said Susan Jebb. Now when something is startling, what is it? It is surprising. It is amazing, right? So they say improvement in the most deprived children in Leeds is startling. Come back to options. Question number 29. Option A, she said she had expected it. No, she said it was Startling. Option B, she said she was amazed by the figures. And if you read on, you will find figures. Let's read on. Startling, said Susan Jebb. I'm reading second paragraph, second line. A professor of diet and population health at Oxford University, whose team has analyzed the city's data. Over 4 years, obesity has dropped from 11.5% to 10.5%, and the trajectory is steadily downwards. Among the more affluent families, there was also decline from 6.8 to 6. Overall, the drop was from 9.4. So these are actually the figures they have mentioned. So correct answer is option B. Now come to option C. She wanted to review some of her team's data. They didn't mention that. Option D, she felt some results were more interesting than others. No, she did not compare and said this thing. So question number 29, B is the right answer. Question number 30, according to the writer, the NCMP data indicate that. Now NCMP data indicates what? Okay, NCMP we have in second paragraph, and we are going to see what is it that the data indicates. Okay, I'm reading it from fourth last line after 8.8%. Found it? 8.8%. The data comes from National Child Measurement Program NCMP, which requires all children to be weighed at the start and end of primary school. Now, important sentence. The biggest decline in obesity in Leeds is 6.4% in the reception class at about the age of 4. Now, age of 4 means the youngest children, they have the biggest decline in the weight, in obesity. Now, please come back. According to the writer, NCMP data indicate that. Option A, children should be weighed more frequently. Not at all. Option B, most primary school children to lose weight? No. Option C, children from wealthy families have less weight to lose than others? No. Option D, youngest children show the highest levels of weight loss. Youngest children 4 years, right? And highest level of weight loss. For that they said the biggest decline in obesity in Leeds is 6.4% in the reception class at about the age of 4. So 4 is youngest and 6.4 is the highest one. Okay, question number 31. What links the 15 places listed in the third paragraph? Now listen, in third paragraph they have mentioned 15 places. What connects all these places? There would be something that connects all these places. So we go to third paragraph, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm reading it from third line. So third paragraph, third line after full stop. For Leeds, the 15 closest neighbors. Now these closest neighbors are 15 places, and we have to see what connects them. What is common in these 15 places? So 15 closest neighbors at the start of its study period in 2009 were Sheffield and these places. They have given the names of 15 places. Leave that. Now come to fourth last line. The obesity rates there. What do they mean by there? 15 places. The obesity rates there and across the country have not shifted. What does it mean? They remain same. Have not shifted. So what connects these places? Obesity rates have not shifted. Which option is that? That is option C. Their childhood obesity levels have remained the same since 2009. So correct answer for question number 31 is option C. Let's take a look at other options. They are not representative of the country overall. They didn't say that. Option B, they all joined Henry program at the same time. This is not the thing that connects them. Option C is the right answer. Option D, they are battling childhood obesity in a different way from Leeds. No, they are following the same model. So correct answer is option C. their childhood obesity levels have remained the same since 2009. And what is the phrase for remained the same? Exactly. Obesity rates there and across the country have not shifted. Have not shifted means did not change or remain same. All right. Now, we are left with this last questions. These questions are 32 to 35. Okay. We've got 4 questions and 4 scientists or researchers or 4 people. Remember one thing, it is possible that each person has got one statement, and it is also possible that one person may have 2 statements. In that case, one person will have no statement also. Right? You may use one letter twice. For example, Susan Jebb, she may have 2 questions. She may have 2 statements as well. So in that case, one person is going to be empty. Now, what you have to do, you need to go back to the passage and find Susan Jebb, underline it, and write A over there. Susan Jebb, underline, write A over there. Very good. Second paragraph, first line, Susan Jebb, underline and write capital A over there. Next we have Kim Roberts. Kim Roberts is on the second page, I guess. Yeah. Underline Kim Roberts and write there B. You know what is B? Option B is Kim Roberts. Then find Janice Burberry. Janice Burberry, second last paragraph, and write C over there. And then write Baji Seema. Seema Candy. So yeah, now these are 4 locations where you have to search for your answers. At least, you know, we've got someone local. Baji Seema is there. So we are happy to know about her. Anyways, now let's go to Susan Jebb. Susan Jebb. Alright, we read it already, by the way. We've got some idea. Let's just go through it. Susan Jebb, the professor of diet. I'm reading second paragraph. Susan Jebb, professor of diet and population health, Oxford University, whose team has analyzed the city's data. Over 4 years, obesity has dropped from 11.5% to 10.5%, and the trajectory is steadily downwards. Among the more affluent families, there was also a decline from 6.8 to 6. Okay, overall the drop was from 9.4 to 8.8, and the data comes from this and that. Now, let's come back. Question number 32. Aim in Leeds was to take steps to stop weight gain among children before it became a real problem. Yes or no? But remember, this question will go somewhere. So keep it in your mind. Question number 33. Childhood obesity levels in Leeds have fallen consistently over a period of time. Yes, exactly. That's what they say. Over a period of time. They say over 4 years. Second paragraph, third line. Over 4 years, obesity has dropped. So period of time means 4 years. Obesity has dropped. So question number 33. Childhood obesity levels in Leeds have fallen consistently over a period of time. Question number 33. Correct answer is A. And now cross 33. We will not read it again. Question number 34. Something that simplifies the struggle to get children to eat well is very helpful to parents. So underline simplify struggle, get children eat well. And question 35. Parents in general are realistic about their potential to make changes to their children's lifestyle. So underline parents, realistic, make changes, children's lifestyle. Okay, now what is option B? Kim Roberts. So we go to Kim Roberts. Second page, first line. Kim Roberts said the drop in obesity in Leeds was unprecedented. The indicators are that this isn't happening in other cities. The program encourages authoritative rather than authoritarian parenting. She said authoritarian parenting is when children are told what to eat and what to do, such as being banned from leaving the table, and then permissive parenting and all that. Now please come back. Question 32, does it match? Aim in Leeds was to take steps to stop weight gain. No, she's only talking about parenting. 34, something that simplifies the struggle to get children to eat well is very helpful. Alright, 35, parents in general are realistic about their potential to make changes to their children's lifestyle, not mentioned. Now, leave Kim for the time being and we go on to Janice. Okay, now please come to Janice. Where is Janice? Second last paragraph. Janice Burberry, the head of public health and all. And one more thing, whenever you're doing this type of question, look for inverted commas. Or look for statements like she says and all that. Okay, so Janice Burberry, and I'm going to read it from third line. No, not third line, second line. Can you see? Parents want to do. Found it? Parents want to do the best for their children, she said. We wanted to focus on prevention because it is very difficult when obesity has taken hold to tackle it. See, there is one question. We wanted to focus on prevention because it is very difficult when obesity has taken hold to tackle it. जब मोटे हो जाएं तो फिर वजन कम नहीं होता. मोटे होने से पहले ही कम करना चाहिए. Okay, that's what they say. So any question? Question number 32. Aim in Leeds was to take steps to stop weight gain among children before it became a real problem. Question number 32. Correct answer is C. And we cross 32 as well. All right. Now let's read on because we have two questions to answer. I'm reading on we understand. Second last paragraph, fourth last line in the middle. We understand. Found it? Okay. We understand that there is no magic bullet here. Parents are experts in their own lives and they know what they can and cannot achieve. So parents are experts in their own life and they know what they can and they cannot. Look here, look here. When you know what you can or cannot achieve, it means you are excellent, brilliant. You are realistic. Okay, so when you know what you can do or you cannot do, you are realistic. Which question is that? 35. Parents in general are realistic about their potential. Who said that? Janice Burberry. That is option C. So question number 35, correct answer is C. Now what are we left with? Question number 34 and we have Baji Seema. Option D. So where is Seema? Seema? Yeah, last paragraph. Seema is there. Public health minister. Oh, I'm sorry. She's the minister. Okay. So, anyways, be careful. Okay. Seema is minister. All right. I'm sorry, Seema. Yeah. Public health minister Seema was enthusiastic. Now, Seema was enthusiastic. Balle. Like that. Okay. There are some fantastic pockets of work happening in early years already, and while still in the early phases, it is encouraging to see what can be achieved locally through interventions like this, she said. Now listen carefully. I know how hard it can be for busy parents to make healthy choices for their families, so anything that can make it easier is a real lifeline. Question number, something that simplifies. Now what is for simplifies? They say anything that can make it easier. That can make it easier means simplifies. Okay. So something that simplifies the struggle to get children to eat well is very helpful to parents. For that she said, I know how hard it can be for busy parents to make healthy choices for their families. So anything that can make it easier is a real lifeline. Question number 34. Correct answer is D. And we cross 34 as well. Okay, all done? One question is left. Yeah. चलाना बंद क्यों किया? यार काम पूरा किया करो. Okay, now we've got question number 40 and we've read all the passage. Now listen carefully. There are 4 options. 3 options will cover separate parts, only paragraphs. But 1 option will cover all the passage, like an umbrella. So when you read, if you may have read 1 paragraph extra carefully, you will say that is the right answer. I've read it. But you need to see answer, like 4 options are there. 3 options are only related to 1 little part of the paragraph or 1 paragraph. Scope is only 1 paragraph. You need to find an option that has the scope of all the passage. Okay, now let's read. Option A, a look at what Henry has achieved in Leeds. No. Option B, Henry is the best according to Leeds children. Never, not at all. They didn't mention. I mean, the whole passage is not about Henry is the best. C, Leeds parents discuss how Henry has helped them. Is the whole passage about parents? That they discuss how Henry helps them? Not at all. It's not C. Option D, it's all about saying no according to Henry. Is the passage about saying no according to Henry? आप तो भी हैं, आपको पता ही नहीं कि हुआ क्या है. हाँ, टाइम पे आया करें या मुझे फ़ोन कर दिया करें कि क्लास अभी शुरू ना कीजिएगा, मैं रास्ते में हूँ. ठीक है, हम लोग ये कर सकते हैं. पिछली दफ़ा भी हमने 3 घंटे इंतज़ार किया था एक स्टूडेंट का. तो अगर कोई लेट आना हो ना किसी ने, यासीन साहब को फ़ोन कर दिया करें कि क्लास शुरू ना करें, मैं रास्ते में हूँ अभी. ठीक है, हम लोग रुक जाएंगे. हम तो वेले हैं, ये सारे बच्चे फारिग हैं यहाँ पे. फील हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? थोड़ा थोड़ा. अच्छा जी. सो नाउ लिसन. It's all about saying no. Now tell me, is the whole passage about saying no? Not at all. Correct answer is option. Yeah, डरते डरते A. Yeah, it's option A. Look at what Henry has achieved in Leeds. They have given you the statistics. They have given you the figures. Right? Look at what Henry has achieved in Leeds, and this heading actually covers the whole passage, right? So this is very important. You should see a heading that covers all the passage, right? Correct answer is option A.